Topic for the day.
Alrighty.
Is manifestation BS or real? Now, I know we've talked about this on the podcast before.
We had a whole podcast
we had like
dedicated toward it.
Facts. And in the past, I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I did think that like manifestation was like a really important thing to do. Like it does actually create things that you want. But after gaining some more information, learning some more stuff about it, listening to other people talk about it themselves, I have actually kind of changed my response.
Really?
I think it's more. You're putting in effort in things you want to do. You're not just manifesting stuff out of thin air. You know, you're not just writing down "I want a girlfriend," and then all of a sudden, shorty just shows up and I have a girlfriend now.
Yeah.
You have to actually go actively approach and actively go out there and do the work. So I think it's less manifestation now, more you're setting goals for yourself and you're working towards it. I know that a lot of people are still going to call that manifestation. You're still going to say, well, the stars align, this, that, the other. And of course, everyone can have their opinion on it. But I have noticed a lot of people tend to use manifestation as a cop-out to not do stuff.
Oh, without a doubt.
So they're like, oh, I'm going to manifest this year. I'm going to manifest this year. But they just expect it to show up instead of them actually going in and actually putting in the work.
Yeah.
And once I noticed that kind of made me start thinking, well, is it actually manifesting, or is it just you setting goals for yourself, working towards those goals? Once you actually get those goals, you call it manifesting. Now I don't know if you kind of have a different thought process on it now, seeing as though we kind of did agree in the past.
I see where you come from, and I actually don't fully disagree with you. I guess in terms of manifestation, I think there are certain aspects, manifesting, and I think it really does depend on what you call it per se. But it really is, because let's be honest, we understand the world we live in. If you write down, I want $1 million, and read it every single day, but yet you don't have a job, you don't work,
you do nothing towards that,
it ain't finna come to you. That's just the honest truth of it. You have to work for it.
Exactly.
So I do understand in terms of, and I also kind of agree with you in terms of it's kind of just being able to set your goals and then going forward. I guess the thing that I guess about manifestation or whatever you call it, that I might agree with, or I guess I can understand, or I think is good about it, or good parts of I guess doing it, if you're saying you're manifesting, is I know a part of it is writing down all your goals and reading it every single day, every single day.
Yeah.
And I think reading it every day is not necessarily going to make it come true immediately, but I think it kind of just trains your mind to know what you want, and it kind of forces you to now take said action.
It focuses you more on the goal and it reminds you of why you're going through the shit you're going.
Exactly. So you keep reminding yourself of this big thing. And inadvertently it does happen, but obviously you need work behind it. You can't just read it every day and not
do anything
But
towards
sometimes I think just reading, I want $1 million, I want $1 million every single day, over time, I think it might actually push you to eventually start something or start doing something that's going to help you reach said goal. And then once you reach that goal, people are like, oh, yeah, it's manifestation because it happened. But at the same time, without that work, it wouldn't have been done. And it's kind of also in the Bible, it talks a lot about just having faith about things.
True.
But it's faith without work is nothing.
You're not going to get
So even the Bible even says yes, you can have faith that something really is going to happen. You can believe it wholeheartedly in your heart, but you still have to work toward it. You still have to put some type of effort out in order to get said result that you want.
Kind of going off what you just said there, I remember, and this happened to me when I was younger, and because of this, I thought that God didn't listen to prayers. I don't specifically remember what I was praying for, but I remember there was this one thing I always wanted as a kid, and I would pray for it, but I never did any work to actually achieve it, so I never actually got it.
Yeah.
It was just well, God don't answer prayers. Well, I didn't understand as a kid that it's more than that. It's got to actually
just saying it, not just sitting there.
Put in the work, which I kind of, going back to the whole manifesting thing, I've seen a decent amount of videos of people saying, oh, I manifested my significant other. I went to the store and I just met this person, which, okay, that could be true, but how much of that is just coincidence? How much of that is just you just happen to meet someone who's really cool and you really like that you would have met anyway?
Well, in terms of that, I think some of it is just speaking it into existence. So some people believe, and I kind of understand this. I ain't gonna lie, I even do this shit sometimes. It's just something I want, I just speak into existence. It's all right, so instead of me just thinking about it, I'll actually say it out loud. And then who's to say there'll be a time when something comes along and then it's like,
See,
damn.
but that's a little bit different than writing it down, though. Speaking something into existence, you're not writing it down, making it plain. You're just speaking it into existence. You're just saying that this is going to take place.
But I guess
compared
that's a
to
part
how
of
the whole manifesting thing works.
But that's a part of manifesting.
Write it down.
No, a part of
say it over.
manifesting is that. It's also speaking it out
into
loud.
existence.
Yeah.
But isn't that the whole writing it down and saying it over and over and over again?
Yeah, part of it. I think part of it is intertwined, but I think it's like, not that it's different things, but like, and I'm not big into whole like manifestation shit, so like I might be completely wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure they're like, it's a part of manifesting, but it's not like, it's like another avenue. Yeah,
it's not
so
the
like
sole thing
one part of manifesting is writing it down and then reading it over and over, and then another part of manifesting is like speaking it out loud, speaking it into existence. So I do think some of it is like just, yes, you still have to work for it. I do think sometimes you speak into existence, you'd be surprised you end up kind of getting it. And I think sometimes when stuff like that happens, it makes people really believe like, oh, okay, maybe this manifestation thing works. And I think some people kind of just need it. Some people say they manifest things, but yet they're just kind of working toward their goals, but they believe it's manifestation, so they're going to die on that hill regardless. Whether they didn't notice themselves working and doing what it took to get that goal, they might not be focused on that.
I think it's important to remind people that they have to do those things. Because if you go manifest, that's cool. Because I've seen multiple videos of people saying, "Oh, just write it down. Let's just have it for you." I don't believe that. I don't believe that in itself is what manifesting is.
No.
You know, now my thought process on it changed. I might not call it like full on just BS, because I do think you can. I do believe in like speaking things into existence, because I've said things are gonna happen to me, and they have happened to me.
Same. That's
so,
why
I can't
it's hard for me to, because there are certain times I'm like, yo, this is gonna happen, and then it does, and I'm like,
so I can't say it's full on like BS. However, what I will say is that there has to be the addition of work. Like you got to be able to know that, okay, cool, you want to manifest this or that, that's perfectly fine. However, you need to put the work in to achieve that at the same time, or else like you're not going. And you might not get the outcome you want.
And you can't call it a coincidence, but I do think this is why people kind of also believe in manifestation, because we've both kind of just said it. There have been times where you said something and it kind of just like happened.
Yeah, true.
So sometimes, majority of the time, you need work, and I'm not trying to say that you don't need work, but there are certain times where you say something, you ain't really do much work, and you kind of just get it.
Yeah, I think that's in certain
instances. And then you're kind of like,
damn,
okay.
But I do want to remind people that don't have it all the time.
No, that's not the majority.
So that won't be the majority of someone's experience through, I guess, manifesting or.
And I also think, what are you manifesting? What is it?
Yeah.
If I say I want a girlfriend, and then if I say I want $1 million, we both know there's a much higher chance of me walking to the grocery store and finding my future wife than it is for me to walk into a grocery store and see a sack on the floor that's $1 million. And I'm like, I'm a millionaire. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I also think it is, too, what are you manifesting? Yeah. What are you necessarily speaking? What are you asking for?
Because both things need different types of work to attain.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So one might take much longer than the other.
Exactly.
You know?
Some might need a little bit more work. And I guess also, too, and I've heard this about, like, manifesting in terms of writing it down and reading it over and over. I've seen a lot of, like, videos in terms of essentially it trains your subconscious.
Oh,
so, like, because of that, it's kind of now, like, embedded in your subconscious mind. And because it's embedded in your subconscious mind, you now are going to take actions that...
So it makes you work towards it harder in a way.
Yeah. Or, like, I guess it kind of, like, now... inadvertently makes you work toward that goals that you wanted.
Because you're constantly reminding yourself.
Because you're constantly talking about it, you're constantly thinking about it, you're constantly... And now it's like almost embedded in your mind.
Yeah.
And because of that, you will take the necessary actions in order to get to where you want. But to your point, you take the necessary actions in order to get to where you want.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess it's manifestation, but at the end of the day, you are the one that is essentially... doing the actions.
You're setting goals for yourself that you're working
exactly towards. And you're actually doing said goals and completing said goals that's going to end up where you want to be.
The only thing you might be taking it further is by constantly telling yourself and constantly reminding yourself about it
over and over
and then writing it down and then just
like looking at it, reading it.
I've heard people say they read it every morning, they read it before they go to bed multiple times. So
you ever heard the book Think and Grow Rich?
Yes.
A lot of the principles in that is literally like it does talk about like actually doing the action. So it's not saying like, yo,
just say it.
But a lot of it is like, yo, like writing down your goals, wake up in the morning, reading it in the morning, reading it sometime in the afternoon, and then reading it before you go to bed. And it's telling you, and it says do it every single day.
It puts it in your mind.
Because it puts it in your mind. I think that's really what manifestation is in a way. I guess it's probably just training your subconscious mind to the point where, because it's so deeply embedded in your mind now, you're going to take set actions in order to do it.
Okay. Yeah, I see that perspective.